You know, sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do. Haters, well, they're just gonna hate. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, this is an impromptu YouTube video. I didn't plan on recording anything today, but in an effort to sort of engage with my list, earlier today I sent an email out. And I used a strategy called the 9-word email. Now, they don't call it the 9-word email because it always has to be 9 words, but it's designed to be a very short email that gets people to respond to you. It was started by a guy, or the first guy I ever heard talk about, this guy named Dean Jackson, who's fantastic. I'll put a link to his stuff in the description. He's got a couple of podcasts that are just amazing to listen to. And he talks about the 9-word email, and it goes something like this. Hey, I just had a quick question for you, Jason. I'm looking at dates for the next big event, and I was wondering if October or November would be better for you. And the idea is to get a response from that person. Now, why do we want to do that? Well, number one, engagement's always good. It's always nice to have an engaged audience with us and somebody who's responding and giving us input and insights. And secondly, and perhaps just as important, is the fact that Google pays very special attention to you when people respond to your emails. See, Google Gmail happens to know that the bulk of email that goes out is all broadcast emails, it's all solicitation emails, and that very few people open and read emails, and even fewer respond to them. And so when you can get somebody on your list, not only to open and read your email, but also respond to it, it sends a signal to Gmail that, hey, there's a relationship here. And then it tends to, if you do that enough times with enough people, Google starts to learn, oh, when this guy sends emails out, people respond to him. And it helps boost your ranking, and it boosts whether or not your emails get delivered to a primary inbox or to the trash inbox or the social inbox. And so it's a really powerful thing for you to be able to do. And as I said, I hadn't emailed my list in about a week, and so I wanted to do something special and try and re-engage them and see if I couldn't figure out what they were really struggling with most right now and what I could help with when I create videos like this one. And so I sent this simple email. It says, hey, Jason, I know it's been a while since I emailed last. Just wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you and hope you're doing well during all the chaos. Wealth, health, and happiness, Jason. Oh, P.S. I'm starting a new content creation phase for my YouTube channel, and I'm looking for ideas. What would you like me to teach on? You can just reply to this email and let me know. Pretty straightforward, right? Just trying to get a little feedback, and my only goal with that email was, well, there's probably three goals. Let's do 3 goals, okay? First goal was to re-engage the list. Hadn't emailed them in a few days and wanted to make sure that they remembered that I was around. Second thing is I really did want to get feedback on content that I could be creating for my YouTube channel that would help the most amount of people, and there's nobody better than going out to my own list to find out what that should be. And then finally, I left a link at the bottom of the email in the PS to my YouTube page, just in case there was anybody on my list who didn't know I had a YouTube page. I know it's crazy to sound, but you can't assume that people know. So I left them the link so that people could go and watch videos if they wanted to. And I don't know how anyone in their right mind could think of that as a scammy email, but it's proof positive yet again that you can do everything right, have the very best of intentions, and then somebody, somewhere, is going to take offense to it. So a little earlier on today, after I sent this email, I got this response from Frank. And Frank says, when you send out automated emails with a subscribe link required, but the context just looks like you're trying to pass it off as a personal email, it feels so scammy. Why not do a video topic on personally replying to emails that are not automated, building relationship, etc., properly and not the cheap way? Maybe test some conversations, because I'll be honest, this sort of stuff turns me off. Well, here's the thing that Frank didn't know. Since I was actually soliciting information that I wanted, I was reading every single email that came in, and there were hundreds of them, just to make sure that and anytime somebody responded with a reply of a suggestion, I tried to respond to that. Now, we got a lot of emails coming in, and I didn't have time to respond to all of them, but I made special point to respond to Frank's and let him know that, hey, listen, I'm out here and you might not think that I'm reading all of these, but I really am. And so there's a couple of points that I want to make about this. And then I'm not going to be too hard on Frank because maybe Frank's having a bad day. But here's the thing. When you go into your communication with the best of intentions, you tend to get the best responses. I got hundreds of responses because I started out with a care and concern, just saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. And I was thinking about everybody on my list and wondering what they're doing and hoping that they were doing well during all this crazy time that we got going on. And then I asked them for a favor. I said, can you help me with something? After, when we give generosity and then ask for a favor, we're much more likely to have that favor reciprocated or appreciated. And even if they don't reciprocate and don't give us the favor, they still feel better because we were nice to them, okay? But it doesn't really matter what your intentions are. There were always going to be those people that take it the wrong way, that cause you to feel like you're a bad person or cause you to feel as though you're not doing something right. And the longer that you're in the business of content creation, the more you put yourself out there, the more letters like this and emails that you're going to get and comments you're going to get from the Franks of this world. And you can't let that get you down. You can't let those types of comments and people dissuade you. I mean, I literally had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments saying, thanks so much for emailing. I'm really doing well. Oh, by the way, this is something that I would love for you to talk more about. And the one from Frank just sets me into a mood, pushes me down, and makes me feel like less of a human being. And I want you guys to know that it happens to everybody. I've been doing this more than 10 years now. I've been creating videos on YouTube since 2009. And I can tell you that it doesn't get any easier. It's still difficult to read the comments when people are lambasting you and talking about you and calling you names. But you just have to keep going and you have to keep persevering. And the second thing is give this email a try. See, I've always tried to remember as best as I can that there is a person on the other end of that list. It's when you've got a small list of just a few hundred people, it's relatively easy to be like, oh yeah, there's that's a group of people. But as the list grows into the thousands and the tens of thousands, all of a sudden we lose sight of the fact that, hey, when I send this email out, there's actually a person over there that's reading it and is going to try and get some value out of it. And when we start looking at our list as real people, and we start treating them like that, we tend to get better responses, more engagement that increases our influence and our likability and our trust level with the people that we want to have the most trust and likability with. So anyway, I hope that helps you all today. Let me ask you, have you guys ever had to deal with this before? How do you deal with the haters in your life? How do you deal with the haters in your business? And what advice would you give to somebody else who is dealing with the same problem? Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with a friend. I'll talk to you soon.